Greetings, and welcome to Today in Trek, our daily show about what has, is, and will happen in the world of Trek. It's January 7th, and our guest host is Klingon Captain Karl Pla, standing in the First City courtyard on Kronos, the shining light of the shattered moon of Praxis behind him. Today's episode is brought to you once again by Rocket Fuel Coffee from Fluid Coffee in Crown Point, Indiana. Yum, yum. By the way, if you've got a favorite coffee vendor that also contributes to the greater good, let me know, and I'll give them a try and a shout-out. On to Today in Trek. I guess a lot of people were super creative or procreative in April of most years because we have a lot of birthdays for January 7th, and to be honest, not much else happened. First, and perhaps foremost, Gene L. Coon was born this day in 1924. Brought into Trek in August 1966 as a line producer, he was tasked by Gene Roddenberry to handle many of the daily jobs that would otherwise fall to him or Robert Justman, and served as the show's producer for the first season and part of the second. Despite the unpretentious job title, Coon was responsible for some of the most fundamental concepts in Trek that we take for granted. The naming of the United Federation of Planets, Starfleet Command, the Prime Directive, and yes, I know Roddenberry had proposed a similar concept. He named the Klingons and introduced some of the key characters to Trek, including Zefram Cochrane and Khan Noonien Singh. During his tenure, some of the more lighthearted and more popular episodes of Trek were produced, including I, Mudd, The Trouble with Tribbles, and A Piece of the Action, but also included the more cringeworthy episode Spock's Brain. Brain and Brain! What is brain? Despite his massive influence in the series, his contribution was downplayed for reasons that we'll not get into here or today, but were not missed or forgotten by many involved in Trek. To quote William Shatner, "In my opinion, Gene Coon had more to do with infusion of life into Star Trek than any other single person." Gene Coon died in 1973. In 1953, comic book artist Bob Wiacek was born. In 1980, his art was the cover for Marvel's Star Trek run of Evolutions. Karen Haber was born in 1955. She is a science fiction author who wrote, among other things, the Voyager novel Bless the Beasts. Continuing our theme of writers born this day, James Hetfield, author of Patrick Stewart, the Unauthorized Biography, and The Ultimate Trek Trivia Challenge for the Next Generation, was born in 1958. TNG comic book writer and inker Carl Kessel was born in 1959. Mark Allen Shepard was born this day in 1961. Shepard appeared in several DS9 episodes in relatively minor roles, including as the human resident and Bajoran funeral attendee, but every Trekkie knows him best as Morn. Despite having never spoken a word as Morn, an entire episode was written about him, Who Mourns for Morn, an episode in which Shepard appears without makeup and is asked to take Morn's seat at the bar. Today's winner of the 6 Degrees of Trek Separation is Hallie Todd, who was born on January 7th, 1962. Todd played Lal, Data's android child, in the third season episode of The Offspring, one of my personal favorites. Todd has worked in television and movies with multiple Trek actors, including Tommy Hinckley, Robert Pine, Gary Wahlberg, Melinda Kalea, Jim Metzler, Ricardo Montalban, Nehemiah Persoff, James Sloyan, Nana Visitor, Alan Ruck, Barbara Boson, John Fleck, Conchetta Tomei, Ned Vaughn, Kenneth Mars, and Kurtwood Smith. Star Trek audiobooks narrator Robert Petkoff was born this day in 1963. And Voyager's Delaney twins, real-life Alyssa Kramer and Heidi Kramer, were born on this day in 1972. In Trek series on this day, in 1991, the TNG episode Data's Day premiered. The episode follows a day in Data's life, one that he is recording for Bruce Maddox, that includes Chief O'Brien and Keiko's wedding, his attempt to learn dancing from Dr. Crusher, the birth of Lieutenant Juarez's baby, and the presumed death of Vulcan Ambassador T'Pel, and further evidence that any female Vulcan in a position of power is really a Romulan spy. All in all, a great episode. In 2018, the Discovery episode Despite Yourself premiered, followed by the After Trek episode of the same name. After Trek was a companion show to the first season of Discovery, which allowed viewers and guests to interact through social media and online polls. After Trek was replaced in the second season with streams on Facebook Live, and then by the series The Ready Room. In 2021, the Discovery episode That Hope Is You Part 2 premiered. The episode is noted for Burnham's promotion to captain. On a sadder note, just as we had a number of births on this day, there are also many Trek-related passings. In 2017, actor Frank Corsentino, best remembered for his role as Spock in the TNG episode The Battle, died. Stuntman Richard David Ellis passed away in 2013. Richard Libertini, who played Akorum Lon in DS9's episode Accession, died in 2016. Actor Greg Bronson, who played a Romulan senator in Star Trek Nemesis, died in 2017. Special effects artist Peter Greenwood died in 2021. His work included the Davidians from the TNG episodes Time Zero and Time Zero Part 2, and the Cardassian costumes for the DS9 premiere Emissary. In 2019, British actor W. Morgan Shepherd died. Shepherd may be best known for his portrayal of Blank Reg in Max Headroom, which starred fellow Trek star Matt Frewer, but Trekkies will know him for his roles as Ira Graves in TNG's Schizoid Man, the One-Eyed Klingon Commandant in Star Trek VI, Katai from the Voyager episode Bliss, or one of the Vulcan science ministers from the J.J. Abrams 2009 Star Trek reboot movie. Shepherd also has the honor of being only one of 4 actors who have starred in Star Trek, Doctor Who, and Star Wars. Trek History of the Future. As you know, we're still in the countdown to Section 31 with 17 days to go. The show will be shown in the U.S. and in countries that offer Paramount Plus on Paramount Plus. As we get more information on the international release on other streaming services, we'll let you know. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.